Hey guys, Nick here, and today we will finally be getting into some Whisperer action and how they will either A, impact the story, or B, not matter at all in the long run. But that's all up to how we see it play out. This is part 25 to What If Sophia Joined Negan. We have been on a long ride, and it's slowly inching towards the end. Spoiler alert, the Sanctuary is what's going to be the prime source, or cause rather, of the Whisperer saga. So we're going to take a little break from the Commonwealth and Rick's group for a while. And by a while, I mean like an episode or two. Till the finale, at least. But everything's fine so far at the Sanctuary, as it has been. But then, Gavin reports some pretty stressful news. He had sent Jared and his other savior group on runs every now and again, and they usually came back. But on another run, nothing came up. Nothing has come up. It's almost like they vanished without a trace, and this is concerning him. Sophia says if they've come back thus far, it can't be that big a deal. She knows how Jared and them are, especially Jared. So, just to be on the safe side, she sends Justin and Arat to go check out the area in which they were last reported, or at least around there. Should be no big deal. So she thinks. But then some time passes. And then more. And then more. And this concerns even Sophia now. Because the saviors were already dropping in numbers. But by this point, this would mean losing a good substantial amount of men. So, without taking any chances thus farther, herself, Carol, Mika, Gavin, Laura, and Regina decide to all go out and try and see what's going on, because Jared and that group disappearing, okay, that makes sense. It was known for Jared and them to be a little reckless. But Justin and Arat, this is definitely something they need to definitely be careful about. Soon enough, they come across a bridge. About the same bridge as Daryl and them met Lydia. And there's some walkers on the bridge. They think nothing of it. But then, the walkers start to pull out weapons. It is made crystal clear that if their men have been killed, these guys did it, without a doubt. No wonder they haven't reported. It was a surprise. Then they realize it's not evolved walkers. It's people wearing the skins. And after killing all of them but one, the only one left, whose name we already know as Lydia, surrenders herself. Carol says before Sophia and anybody else does anything that if their men are truly gone, and these people are the ones that did it, they not only get to interrogate this one about that, if they're even possibly still alive, but they could figure out who these people are at the same time, because these guys can't just be all there is. There has to be more. And this could pose trouble if they're not careful. Sophia, holding on to the hope that the saviors that have maybe did not get taken out are still alive, and knowing how smaller they're getting in numbers, decides, what the heck, I'll bring this one back, interrogate her. But she's going to do the honors herself. In the jail cells of the Sanctuary, Sophia gets serious. This interrogation way triumphs over Daryl's. Because Sophia, she ain't gonna be merciful. She don't care about how Lydia's life was. But she does take note that Lydia's dad and everything, or rather Lydia's mom, isn't too different from how Ed was. But that's all there is to it. Sophia is definitely going to get way more out of Lydia. Soon enough, Alpha and the Whisperers find out about the sanctuary. We get their introduction and the fact that Alpha is here to get Lydia back. And this would definitely be worth something for how many of you wanted an actual Savior and Whisperer storyline. Except without Negan. But once they arrive at the sanctuary and make themselves known, and Alpha does her whole thing of introducing herself, Carol and Sophia decide to confront Alpha directly, but Sophia's gonna do the main honors. She just wants Carol there as support, more or less. Sophia then speaks up once they approach the gates, and Sophia wants to know why she's here. Because she can get an idea, but she wants to hear it from Alpha's own mouth. Alpha says that it should be obvious, and says she's here for her daughter, who they kidnapped. And yeah, they're not really going to abide by the fact that Lydia was kidnapped. Carol then speaks up and says that they've seen what has been done to Lydia, especially knowing the fact that, or rather guessing, that Alpha was the one who did it. Carol says she has experience with a relationship of an abuser, and that girl that just spoke to her is her daughter, the one who had to witness and deal with half of the abuse. And there's no way they're giving Lydia back. And the fact that they don't know if these people are the ones that killed their men, or even if they're still alive. Alpha smirks at this, not only at this woman's and these people's bravery, but the fact that they have seen their potential, and Alpha says, yes, their people did get in their way. They got into their border, and if they wanted to, they could wipe every one of them out of this community single-handedly. But before Alpha can pry anymore, she gets stopped dead in her tracks when Sophia, faster than she can see, runs straight up to Alpha and points the bat straight at her throat. And this is all split-second reaction, so Alpha wasn't expecting this. Sophia says that if she knows what's good for her, she'll listen to what not only herself but her mother said, hightail her men out, and get the crap out of the community right now and never come back. And she's lucky that no one, including herself, has been killed, besides their men on the bridge. But Carol stops her, because out from a corner of the gates of the sanctuary, she sees something that definitely catches her attention. A few of the Whisperers and the masks and everything come out, but they're not alone, and they don't have guns, but they have Justin and Arat as hostages, but nobody else. So it's clear that these people definitely encountered them. They weren't lying, but Justin and Arat are still alive. Sophia then puts down her bat and backs off and says that, fine, the only reason that she's going to give Lydia back isn't because that she's her daughter or anything, but because not all her people were killed. Jared and them dying is a bit of a loss, but Justin and Arat, they're important saviors. So it's almost even because they did kill their men on the bridge. But she stares dead into the eyes of Alpha and says she knows exactly what happens to people like her. Abusers, people who think they're higher of power than others. She knows exactly what happens to people like that, and says that Alpha isn't going to last long with the mentality and attitude that she possesses. And she will come for her and her people. And she better enjoy the moments that she has with her daughter before her and her people are slaughtered. Alpha takes this without any kind of concern, takes Lydia and just walks off. She doesn't really care. Meanwhile, back at the meeting room where Negan would have his meeting with the Saviors and everything, and then revisited in season 9, Sophia and the rest of the Saviors are in there having a meeting. But during it, not even 2 seconds in, Sophia slices the table clean in half with Michonne's blade, angry that she didn't just kill Alpha and them when she had the chance, but she's keeping on the word and the fact that she's going to go after them, and rallies up every Savior at the disposal of the Sanctuary, because there is still a good handful, just not many of the big ones, like the big leader type ones. But we do still have a lot of Saviors, and Justin and Arad are still alive. So there's that. And now the Saviors are locked up to go find Alpha and her people and kill them all for what they did to Jared and the rest of the Saviors. But will it work? Or will this war turn out to be bad for Sophia and the rest? And that's where we're going to be leaving things for the moment. Hope you guys like this little tie into an introduction of a Savior versus Whisperer brawl. Something that I've touched on near the end of some stories, but never really brought to attention of making a full-fledged, war-type story, if you guys know what I'm saying. But I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. Definitely going to get a little intense these last few episodes to the finale of this series. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.